Welcome to the I Do Wedding Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Nina Adio, a social media marketing expert specializing in the wedding industry. Each week, we'll explore the strategies, stories, and insider tips that help wedding professionals thrive. You'll hear solo episodes filled with actionable advice for social media and inspiring conversations with esteemed wedding industry guests. Thank you for tuning in and letting this podcast be a part of your day. Let's get started. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here for another episode of the I Do Wedding Marketing Podcast. If this is your first time here, this is the podcast where we are passionate about marketing and wedding industry businesses. And oh boy, what an episode for those two things we're going to have today. You know, Terrica is somebody that I have always watched. I have always admired, but never thought, I could have her on the podcast. If you've been listening this entire season, then you know the theme has sort of been shoot your shot. While I was at Maine Weddings EDU, Fausto of Blue Elephant Catering was sharing some fun stories he had with his best friend Terrica. And one of the stories was about him they were in like an old kind of bed and breakfast, and he hid in her room to scare her as a ghost, and she's still friends with him. So I said, you know what, this is a nice enough person where I can shoot my shot and invite her on the podcast. And guys, I am going to ask everything, and we are going to learn everything. If you know me, I'm really excited to hear about Terrica's morning routine, but we're also going to talk about sales and strategy and how wedding pros like our listeners can really change their business, and who better to talk about that with us than Terrica. Terrica is such a big deal that when I Googled Terrica bio, something actually came up. How cool is that? But I liked what, I could come up with a little better. Terrica is known as your hype woman for wedding business success. She is a powerhouse in the wedding industry, renowned for her vibrant energy and unwavering commitment to helping wedding professionals thrive. Her journey to becoming a celebrated wedding planner and business coach wasn't linear. I know a lot of you can relate to this. She transitioned from aspirations in medicine and law to discovering her true calling in orchestrating unforgettable celebrations and empowering others in the industry. As the founder of Cocktails and Details, a premier wedding planning firm, and the White Lounge, a virtual concierge service, Terrica has built a reputation for excellence and innovation. Her passion extends beyond planning. She's a sought-after speaker, educator, and coach known for her candid advice and infectious enthusiasm. Terrica's dedication to uplifting underrepresented groups is evident through her roles on the advisory board for Wedding Pros Fellowship for Change, Aisle Planners Diversity Committee, and Black Women in Weddings. When she's not transforming the wedding industry, she indulges in her love for vintage jazz, 90s R&B, anyone, and the drama of RuPaul's Drag Race. Her mantra, the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. So let's talk some positive hustle culture with Terrica.
Okay.
Terrica, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I know this is a long time coming, so I am so excited for us to sit down and
Me
chat.
too. Where are you coming from today?
Oh, well, I'm home today, finally, for once. So excited. I mean, it was so great. I was like, oh my gosh, I get to get up and do laundry. But to be clear, I am not that excited about laundry. It still takes me at least 3 to 5 business days, sometimes, depending on what I'm coming off of, to fold and put away. But I love being here and just emptying my suitcase, washing my clothes, and just having a regular, boring life that a lot of people are probably surprised about.
Well, I appreciate you for sharing this day when you're finally home with us. I do have to say, laundry is how I do like time blocking while working. It's like, all right, load
Hmm.
is in, doing a work shift. Load is out, taking
Yep.
a break.
Do something else.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I know my day is progressing productively, is how much did I get done in a series of loads?
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you mind telling us in your own words a little bit of your wedding industry powerhouse origin story?
My gosh, my villain story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many, many moons ago, about 20 years ago, I decided that I no longer wanted to study to be a criminal attorney. I wanted to be a wedding planner. Um, I was mentored by somebody who was absolutely amazing, and she was telling me, there's a reason why I'm not married and I don't have any children, because this job takes everything out of you. And I understood that. And the more of the cases that I saw, and the more of the things that I got to know intimately, I was like, I really want to be a part of somebody's happy moments in life. I really want to help them celebrate. It's always been my thing to make everything a huge production and to really make some heartfelt moments between, two people, a group of people for a special occasion, no matter what it was. So I said I was going to become a wedding planner. And this is having never had a wedding, never been in a wedding, never been to a wedding. And as a matter of fact, what also surprises people is that I did not start my business where I lived. I actually was moving to coastal Georgia, where I am now. So I had no idea about the market. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything. So it was literally like building from the ground up in every sense. So I did all of my hard work, all of my research. I knew who the key players were. Knew who the key client types that were coming down here for having their weddings, because this is a destination wedding market that's here. And I just hit the ground running, meeting every venue person I could, connecting with them. And then the referrals came in for coordination, and I started doing that. Wowed them with how I produce things and with my documents. Then it became more referrals for, oh, well, can you help them find vendors, or can you help them design? And then bam, now I'm here, full service planning and design company that's here.
Sounds like a cozy romance novel. Like, woman starts over in coastal Georgia with a wedding
It
planning.
does sound very Virgin River-ish, very
Yes.
Hallmark-ish. It does. It does.
Was there
There
ever?
were a few nightmares along the way. There was a little Ryan Murphy
Ah,
American Horror Story moments in there as well. But yeah, I'm here. I'm here. So yeah, we're having a good time.
so I wanted to ask, were there ever moments during it? Because, when we say it in these sound bites, it sounds like, it's almost like you met your career soulmate. Were there ever moments
Yeah.
where you stopped and said, "Oh gosh, did I make the right decision?"
Never, never,
Wow,
never,
incredible.
never. I feel like all of us have gifts, and I feel like that we can be really great at something, but it's not what we're meant to do. And I say that because prior to wanting to be a lawyer, I also wanted to be a doctor. And like I killed it in the pre-med program. I loved it. I loved what I wanted to do. And I loved the data. I loved being with the people. I love figuring things out. But I realized that it was more emotional for me. And because I am an empath, I can't imagine how those two careers would have heavily impacted me with some of the things that I would have had to have seen. So I definitely feel like my gifts are so strongly utilized with where I'm at now, both from the fashion industries, the beauty industries, pre-med, legal studies, all of these things. It's absolutely poured into who I am now, which pours into who I am as a speaker and a coach. So no, I never doubted that this was where I was supposed to be. And I am very much into astrology. I'm a very proud Scorpio. And human design and all of those things as well. And when I read about it, it's literally saying you are absolutely doing what you're supposed to do. So it's like confirmation of everything.
Would you be willing to talk a little bit about human design and how listeners can, what it is for those?
Not really, because like I just got into it.
Okay,
I literally just got into it, and I read it when I read about who I was or who it said I was, and it said that I needed to be in a position of leadership, that I should not shy away from the spotlight because it's going to come to me. I don't need to chase it. It's going to come to me, but I need to be in a role of nurturing and leadership and helping people realize their dreams. And I'm like, okay, well, here we are. That works. I'm
like
absolutely.
I Googled your bio. That's what came up.
Right. I'm like, did you look me up? Well, I don't understand this. So it like when I saw have you seen the diagrams before?
Yes.
Like,
so I'm a manifesting generator.
okay. Yes. I don't know I'm something. I'm going to have to email you and tell you what I am. But when I saw it, I'm like, what is this? Where are all of these cogs and lines going? I'm like, just give me a sun, moon, and rising, and I'm great. I can dissect all of that. But again, it's like it reiterates everything about who you know. I'm not sure. Have you ever used the app called The Pattern? And I know we're getting so off topic here, but
this will all be helpful. I just know
it'll all be helpful. I promise. So, a lot of people, they get their horoscope apps, they get their manifestation apps, they get their prayer apps, and I love all of those. I started using The Pattern after I saw an ad with Channing Tatum say that he was going to therapy because the Pattern app just totally destroyed everything that he was and that he thought he was. And I'm like, wow, okay, what is this? That's exactly what it does. You put in your information and it will drag you for filth. It'll say something like, hey, today's going to be a rough day for you because you're pig-headed and you always think that you're right, but you need to slow down because that thing that happened to you when you were 4 doesn't need to carry over now that, you're in your 40s. You need to get your life together. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, somebody woke up in a mood, but it's so correct. So I always love these little checks and balances for myself, not so much to lead the way, but just so much as confirmation and reminders as to who I am and what my greater purpose is.
Yeah, and sometimes you need to hear things in a different way. Sometimes
you do. Absolutely.
So you're known for helping wedding pros build brands that actually sell, right? So that's what everybody wants. So what's the biggest mistake you see people make when they're trying to stand out online?
Oh my gosh, they do way too much. And when I say they do too much, it comes across as if they are not authentic at all. Like, who is this person that's talking to me when I met you at a networking group and you seem like a shy wallflower, but now online, you're bursting with energy and you're telling me all of the things and all of the things, but you also said that you don't have any experience. So it's just like you're doing way too much. You're not being true to yourself. So then that causes you to be all over the place. You're picking whatever feels like it's a fad, whatever it's true. Remember when TikTok came out, everybody felt like they had to jump on and start dancing or they had to start pointing versus just being who they are and using the platform for themselves. So I think that when you try to stand out by doing everything, it really makes you forget who you are. And you're not necessarily being bold, you're just being busy. And two things, there's always a difference between being busy and being productive. And that's a question that I ask everybody. I'm like, are you in business or are you a busy mess? Like, let's really figure out where we are with this. And then if you are trying to be everything to everybody, you'll be nothing to nobody. So you really have to figure out who you are with yourself and figure out who you want to be in this industry, who you want to be to your clients, who you want to be to your vendors, who you want your brand to be, so that you can show up as that authentically, because it's not about doing the most. It's about doing what's the most you. That's what people are going to fall in love with. That's what people are going to book. Because when we're working with people for anywhere between 9 to 18 months at a time, you want to like these people. You want people to get to know you. You don't want it to be, like one of those rom-coms or one of those movies where you meet somebody and you fall in love with who they showed you, but that's not who they really are. That's the same thing that goes for our industry as well.
One example a friend of mine experienced was she was posting the trends and doing all the things, and she's in the out East Hamptons area of Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, she just went, Nina, I haven't had a zebra print wedding in so long, and I'm miserable. Like, she missed her animal print weddings and her pink, and she wasn't getting it
Love
because she
her. I
wasn't
love her
posting
already.
it. So, by posting who you are, like you said, it aligns you with the couple who is looking for that.
And you know what? And it deflects the people who aren't. And that's totally okay. I don't want anybody to work with me just for labor. I don't want anybody to work with me because they need a body in the room. I want you to work with me because you enjoy my personality, you respect my expertise, you know that I'm going to take care of you, you know that I'm going to take care of your event or your business. I don't just want to be filler. So yes, when you share who you are and what you want, you are literally telling everybody who wants that same thing, hey, come hire me.
So some people listening may be thinking, yes, but if I don't talk to anybody, that may affect my profit, my bottom line. Can you speak about what a sustainable, profitable business actually looks like for a modern wedding pro?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, all your expenses have to be paid. Okay. And I say this all of the time too. You don't ever want to drastically discount your prices or over systemize or overdo like your experience or your gifts when your money is not there to sustain it. Because now what happens is that we've actually paid someone to work their wedding, and that is an absolute no-go. We want to make sure that we are making profit from every single event. And then when it comes to your marketing and your strategy, it is just not a, hey, I'm just gonna hope and post type of thing, or I really wish this would happen. I love to say all the time too, a plan without, a goal without a plan is just a wish, and you're not a fairy. So actually put some things down and make it make sense, make it work. So this means forecasting. How many weddings do I have coming in? What does this mean for my income? Do I have monthly income coming in? Do I have quarterly income coming in? Do I have seasonal or milestone money coming in? What does my advertising look like? And I'm pretty sure you know this too. You're literally like the goddess of marketing. So you know this. Nina, I don't know why people think that they're like, oh, you know what? I got a domain name, got my name on Instagram. They are going to come and hire me. Baby, nobody knows who you are. Now, one person knows who you are, and Instagram hates you and 10 people that looks like you. It changes the algorithm every other day. So for you to think that, oh, I posted and nobody liked it, or I posted it and nobody contacted me or nobody booked, possibly only 1% of your followership even saw your post. So that means you're going to have to get louder. You're going to have to give your voice a megaphone. And Instagram, quite honestly, is like one of the little clip-on microphones that we use for podcasting, or it's like your AirPods. We need a megaphone. We need something huge. So that's why you have to advertise, whether that's print advertising, whether it's social media ads, it's online ads. You have to amplify your voice and amplify your brand. Hoping and posting is not a strategy. It's not sustainable at all. And then networking. We always say that, your net worth is determined by your network. If you don't go out there and meet people, then how do people know who to refer? How do people even know who's out there? And you want that connection because you want to have those parallels of, oh, so-and-so is an amazing photographer and they always work with this person. This person does gorgeous florals and they always design for this person. You want to make sure that you are in the best group that you can have, and you want to make sure that people are saying your name, because it's not just about who you know, but it's also about who knows you. And if you are booked and still broke, then you're not in business, you are in burnout. So you really have to think about, what does this mean? Do I need to take a few things out? Do I need to operate more lean? Maybe I don't need 50,000 systems to pull this off. Maybe every client can't have access to specific systems. Maybe that's something that I'm going to save for some of my higher tier clients. as well, because sustainability means that your business makes money even when you take a break. And that breather is so necessary for us. And whether you have multiple streams of income, you have a big team, we're now at the point where that's not even optional. Before it used to be a dream. Now it's absolutely necessary for all of us, with everything that's going on with the economy, with tariffs, with consumer doubt and mistrust, especially in our industry as well. We definitely want to make sure that we're talking to markets that want something from us, but we can't do it if we're out here whispering when we should be on a megaphone.
I really loved what you said about advertising because, sometimes I have to remind people like Instagram doesn't owe us anything. Like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, it's free. And we get to market on it for free, but that may not mean we don't always get heard if we're not spending all day cracking the algorithm or investing in ads and so forth. So somebody may hear that and feel overwhelmed and think, well, then I have to hustle harder being everywhere. So how can a wedding pro work smarter when it comes to marketing without getting that burnout?
I feel like that's the biggest lie that we tell ourselves. We think that that's going to be the panacea. That's going to be the cure all for everything. If I am on Facebook, TikTok, Blue Sky, X, all of the things, then yes, more people will see me and more people will come. But you actually have to figure out where your people are. Where do your ideal clients spend a majority of their time? Are they on Pinterest? Are they on TikTok? Are they on Instagram? Maybe your ideal client isn't necessarily the couple. It could be the parents. So they may be more apt to be on Facebook. So that's going to change things for you as well. So figure out where your people are and start there. Do not deviate, do not move, do not go past go and collect $200. Stay right there on that path and develop a strategy that is going to attract more people to you. And it's going to promote your best work and your expertise. So think about your content pillars. Think about how often can I sustainably, and when I say sustainably, I just don't mean profit-wise, I mean energy-wise too. Like, how can I sustainably post and maintain a really good brand presence that's consistent, that shows, hey, I'm working, I'm here, I'm serious, I have something to say, and I am available? Is that 3 days a week, 5 days a week? Is it 7 days a week? Is it once a week? Do that and stick to it. I would much rather see my clients post once or twice a week for 8 weeks than to just go hard and they're posting every day for 1 week and then we never hear from them again. And then that's how you have to like re-wake up the algorithm. So find your content pillars of things that you want to talk about. Do I want to promote my business on one day? Do I want to inspire people or motivate people? Do I want to share quotes from my favorite movies or love songs or lyrics and turn them into designs? Do I want to share my expertise in education? Do I want to showcase other vendors and venues in my area? Do I even want to share a little bit about myself? Right there, you've got your content pillars. So now I think of content pillars as like buckets. So now you know what to put in your bucket. And now that you know what's in your bucket, now we have to get really strategic about it. Make sure that we have really good calls to action so that we're telling people what to do. Just don't enjoy my content. Leave a comment, share it with a friend, click the link to learn more or download. Tell them what you want and move them along into the journey, because that's our job as well. Too often as pros, especially those of us who are solopreneurs in this, we throw our keys away to somebody else. We either throw them away to the clients, to their parents, to other vendors, and we let them drive. We need to be in the driver's seat. So we need to drive our clients through their journey from the sales portion to the onboarding, to the planning portion, to the production portion until we're done. Keep your keys in your hand at all times. So where are you taking them on this journey? Do you want to make them feel supported? Do you want to educate them? Do you want to uplift them and empower them? Do you want to take some things off of their plate? Whatever your role is, continue to show up as that. So when you know who you are, you know who your people are, You know what you want to talk about. You know what you want to promote. Find one platform to master it, and then one purpose per post, and then one ideal client to talk to. We're not talking to everybody. We're not trying to do all of the things. You don't need to go viral. You need to go valuable and to the right people, because it'll never be an issue when you're talking to your people. So when your content is so succinct, when it is so dynamic, when we can see you, we can feel you, we're like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine my wedding without this person. It is hook, line, and sinker. You've got it.
I agree with everything you've said. It's just, I always tell people on social media, the analytic that's most important is the smallest number, which is your link clicks.
So true.
It's not about going viral. It's about being valuable to the right people who are in this very small window. They're in your area, about to be engaged or already engaged. That's a very small window compared to people who can, market to anybody.
So, but you know what? I hope that doesn't deter anybody or scare anybody by saying, oh my God, the window just got smaller. Yeah, the window got smaller, but now you've got a really intimate opportunity to make connection. You've got a really small group for you to connect with and say, this is why I'm the person for you. I'm not the person for everybody, but this is why I'm the person for you.
So how can wedding pros use their branding as a tool to convert in the wedding space?
I hear so many people, Nina, say, I'm a brand. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, no, sure. You are. Like, I'm so protective of my brand. And I'm like, question. If that's the case, why are we still using Comic Sans? If that's the case, why are we not communicating correctly? Why are we using stock photos? Like, we're not a brand yet. We're almost there. Let me tell you what a brand is. Your brand is what people say when you leave the room. How do they feel when they get off the phone with you or when they read an email from you? What do they feel when they see your content? I absolutely love it when people send me reels anyway, especially cat videos. Like, I swear to God, if you saw my Explore page a couple weeks ago, everybody was talking about, oh, you can rehack your algorithm and, fix your feed. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to, because I've just got cat videos and makeup videos. I think I'm good where I'm at. I'm very good. But I love it when people send me reels and they say, this is so you, right? Because then that gives you an indicator as to how you're showing up. I also love it when people look at my content and they say, I literally heard you say this, or I thought about you and I heard you say this. That is my brand. So think about that. Everything that you touch, everything that another client touches, another vendor touches, another potential client touches, what are the impressions that people are getting from your timelines, your documents? Even the systems that you use are very indicative of your brand. And your brand has to make leads say, oh my God, I want some of that, or I want to be that, or otherwise you're just labor, what we talked about before, right? If there is no connection, then there is no need for them to pursue you further. If your brand doesn't make people feel something, it won't make them buy something either. So think about how you're going to connect with people. We always have that Maya Angelou quote that says, people will forget what you've said, they'll forget what you've done, but they'll never forget how you've made them feel. How are you making people feel at every instance and every impact with you?
That's so much to unpack.
I'm sorry.
No. The algorithm stuff I really love, because my husband and I just saw the Lilo and Stitch movie and we're obsessed. And so I started looking up Stitch just so he could come up with my algorithm more. I also like to let my clients know when I meet them that I'm a professional wrestling fan. And what happens is they'll whenever wrestling comes to town, I'm the girl who gets tickets because people know I like it because I talk about it. And
that is amazing, Nina. Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
And then sometimes when I'm interacting on their account, I'll go to their Explore page and I go, oh no, I see wrestling in it, and then I have to find out are you a fan or did I just destroy your algorithm?
Did
And
I do
when it
this?
happens, it is that they happen to be a fan too, and then we become really bonded. But I'm always careful to make sure I don't do my own browsing in
Right?
their
Oh
accounts.
my gosh, that is so. I was actually in Vegas last month for, was it WrestleMania, when the big thing
Yes,
happened
yes.
out there, and like I was walking by so many people that had no idea. I only knew Shaq was there. I was walking by Shaq, but everybody else was like pausing and taking pictures with these huge, and I used to be a big, I'm about to age myself so badly, I used to be a big WWF, not even
Yes,
WWE,
yes.
WWF
WWF,
fan, like
yep.
Andre the Giant, Randy the Macho Man Savage, Hulk Hogan, and then Glow. Absolutely loved Glow. My sister and I still talk about this to this day, where we would get in so much trouble for like doing wrestling moves on each other. And my dad was like, shouldn't y'all be having tea parties? And we're like, no, this rocks. This is so much fun. I'm going
Oh
to
my
like
gosh.
body slam her right now.
Yeah, so I'm always like, I'm gonna just be upfront about it because they'll find out. They'll find out.
Oh,
So
and by the way, you've got a little bit over under a month for Stitch Day that's coming up next
yes,
month.
626.
626. Yeah, so get ready. Get ready.
I was telling my husband all about it. Now he's hooked. I want to skip ahead to talking about coaching clients and how to
Yeah.
help them get out of the feast or famine cycle so many
Mhm.
wedding pros are stuck in. Can you talk
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I tell people all the things that they don't want to hear. When I was in the Dominican Republic for IADWP, I was there with one of my most amazing sisters, colleagues, students, and just overall phenomenal person, Dee Lee from Dee Lee Designs. And she's telling her cinematographer, she's like, Terrica's going to tell you that your baby's ugly. And he's like, what? And I'm like, no, you have to explain it. I am going to tell you that the thing that you love the most isn't as pretty as you think it is. It's not working because we need someone to kind of like pull us and tell us what it is. So I am always telling them what they don't want to hear. Like, why are we trying to sell this particular collection when it's not booking? Why are we trying to chase after this venue when you're getting so many leads with clients that want this particular venue, or they want this particular vision, or we need to step it up here, or where are your systems? What's happening? We can't, bubble gum and rubber band things together. We have to make it work because you can't scale chaos, right? And you can't fix silence with louder marketing. You need a smarter message. So that's why I come in and I say, is this a messaging problem or is this a marketing problem? Are we talking to the wrong people? Are we not talking about what we do? Are we not explaining what we do correctly? Do we need to change what we do so that it's more desirable from our market as well? Do we need to stand out? And then, of course, I'm always going to make them figure out alternative streams of income. They don't necessarily need to be on all the platforms, but they do need a lot of profit pathways. So maybe this might mean tiered services or having a tiered brand. Maybe this might mean digital products or digital planning and coaching, but I want them to have something to lean on so that it's not always, I have to book every client that sends me an inquiry. I'm going to be okay if I say no. I'm going to be okay if I don't book this red flag.
I think the better our systems are, the more we'll be able to implement these things. And I say this as somebody who only this year in her business is starting to expand upon the Google suite of tools, right? I'm finally pursuing systems. So what are 2 or 3 systems you feel every wedding pro needs?
Systems are the silent staff in your business, and they need to be doing all of the heavy lifting and the work when you're not. So for whatever type of pro you are, you need these 3. You need something that's going to help you get booked and paid, something that's going to spit out your data, that's going to run your reports. Because when you work with me, I'm going to say, how many inquiries did you get? How long does it take for an inquiry to set up a meeting? How long does it take for us to go from meeting to proposal? How long does it take from inquiry to booking? How long does it take from inquiry to event? I want to see these dates because that's going to teach me how we need to move. It's also going to teach me what you're selling the most of, why people are ghosting. There's so much love and data in your reports. So you need a good CRM. Just getting your leads from your inbox is not telling you anything, especially if you're not doing the hard work to look into it. And I don't care how much you want to lie to me, you're not doing that. Your CRM is going to do that for you. So you've got, HoneyBook, Dubsado, you've got Tave. Those are the ones that I love the most for us in this industry. Then next, you need something that's going to help you work with people. Specifically, if you're working with your clients, you need some sort of planning platform. You need some sort of hub, if you're not a planner, that's going to allow you to provide deliverables that they can easily access, that they're not going to have to search their emails from, have a checklist that they can work off of, because we really want to empower everyone. Even though I love concierge level service, I don't want to infantize my clients either. I don't want to do everything. There is a responsibility on their part that there are things that they have to do. So giving them checklists, giving them things to read, things to watch is definitely helpful. So a planning portal will do the heavy lifting for you. Where planners make the mistake is that they try to make their CRM a planning portal as well, or they try to make their planning portal a CRM as well. And that's not it at all. The third thing that you need is something that's going to help you do what you do. If you're a designer, maybe you're using something like Curate or Details or Mary or June AI or Relevantful. There's so many great things out there. Timeline Genius that's going to help you create your timelines. Guest Board or the Wedding Crasher app that's going to help you communicate with wedding guests and clients. And like I just said earlier, you want to really stop bubblegum and rubber banding all of your things together. Like, oh, I'm going to use this and this because it's free and I'm going to stay with this. It's not helping you. It's not serving you. So it's not going to serve your clients. And this is a reflection of your brand. If you were telling people that you're a luxury service provider, and to be clear, Nina, I feel like anything past a marriage license is a luxury in our industry, okay? Because weddings are completely optional. Nobody has to have one. If someone wanted to be married, they can go right down to the courthouse, get a license, pay a judge, move on and go about their life. Anything over that is a luxury. If you are providing luxury services, if you're providing concierge level services, your systems, your documents are part of your brand and client experience, and they have to reflect that as well. And I know so many people get frustrated and they say, oh my God, why can't there just be one thing that does it all? That's a unicorn. Stop stressing yourself out. You're never going to find it. It does not exist at all. Just like when you bought your house, when you pay your mortgage payment, you're not paying your electric bill and your water and your cable and your internet. No, you're paying for that one thing. And then you may bundle other things together. Think of this as your house. Think of this as your foundation and piece together what utilities you need to operate at peak performance.
I love that you said that, because Courtney Donelon from Aisle Planner actually came on the podcast to speak about how it's a full tech stack, and that Aisle Planner and, let's say, Dubsado go great together. Mm-hmm. It's not about one or the other. It's about what they can do together.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. Now, sorry, it just made me seeing it live in person, you mentioning something we just had on a past episode. It's just like really cool. In addition to systems, what else do those who thrive in this business have in common?
Well, the ones who thrive, they're not just talented, they're teachable. I can remember I had a coaching client hire me. And there's somebody who comes to see me all the time. They know my personality. They've seen me speak. They interact with me online. They've been wanting to work with me forever. We finally had an opportunity to make it happen. And I'm going through her things. And I'm like, okay, well, I can see where some of the gaps are. Here are some things that we need to change. These are some things that I really want to spotlight that you're doing, because you're doing them amazingly. This is something that I feel like you could use a little bit more support, but I feel like that investment of time, setup, and even financial investment that it'll take is going to like up level your client experience. And it's honestly going to make it hands off for you so that you have more time and you can breathe. And she's like, I'm not doing that. I need you to tell me how to make it work with what I'm doing. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. And I hope you read the contract where you saw that there are no refunds, because I cannot do this for you. People who thrive in this industry, they're dancers, right? They can do the moves forwards and backwards. They can pivot, they can step ball change, they can make it work, because it's not just about, it has to be my way. It has to be, how many ways can I use my gift? Who else could really benefit from my gift, and how can I make money from it? They're also willing to invest, whether that is in a coach, whether it's in a conference, whether it is in a book, it's in systems, it's in a course. They are willing to make that investment to either learn or to have their business be better, because they also understand that I can't ask a client to invest in me if I am not investing in my own business as well. And they don't ghost their goals. They follow through even when it's hard, and everything is hard. You just have to choose your hard.
Don't ghost your goal. Wow. I really like that. Just need to take that in. That was really, that was great. Whenever I do the podcast, I think of the people listening who are yeah butters. They're going, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. So somebody listening right now is saying, yeah, but I've done all the right things and I'm still not seeing results. What would you say to them?
Get a second set of eyes. Like I said, have somebody tell you that your baby's ugly, okay? This is so personal to us that of course we feel like we've done everything right. Of course I have poured everything in it, but we don't see, because it's so close up, and like there's a blaring fire ahead of us, but we're like, oh no, look at this tiny little microscopic thing. I did so great. Aren't I wonderful? And when you say I've done all the right things, but right to whom? And right for whom? Because just because someone says it, or just because even I say it, doesn't mean that it's going to work for you or your market. So really figure out, what does the quote unquote right things mean? There is no one size fits all strategy. The right thing in the wrong market is still the wrong thing. It's still the wrong move. I remember Dita Von Teese said, you could be the world's most juiciest peach, and there will still be people out there who hate peaches. If you are still talking to people that hate peaches and you're selling peaches, you're going to feel like you're miserable. You're going to feel like you're always doing something wrong when you're just talking to the wrong people. So get a coach. Get a coach, whether it is for a coaching program, even if it's just for an hour, just to sit through and talk, just to have somebody else come in with fresh eyes and say, have you considered this? Have you tried this? You would be really great at this, because as a speaker and an educator, I am constantly learning, and I see things that people are doing in different markets and different countries. Having that access to that is just invaluable, because you have someone that could say, you know what, they're doing this in California right now. It's not in your market yet, but you could kill it and you could just make it happen. But show yourself some grace, right? Like, not everything is going to be a hit every single time. It's not always going to be, people banging down the doors to get to you. Results don't necessarily follow perfection, but they do follow precision. They do follow dedication. They do follow discipline. And all discipline is just remembering what you wanted. And that's how I keep my clients motivated. Like, remember what you want. Remember, this is what you want. This is why we're doing the hard stuff right now.
You are just full of sound bites. I am like already dying for Patricia. Patricia, shout out. She edits the podcast and pulls a clip that I'll then edit for Reels. And it's like, what is Patricia going to pick? This next question I was the most excited about, and I'm asking it, selfishly for me. And it is, do you have a morning routine, and what is it?
I do. A lot of people have been following along with my morning routine, and like they've been jumping on my morning workout train. I wake up at 4:30. Yes, in the morning. I cross 2 bridges to get to a gym. I get my workout in for a good hour and a half, hour or so. I come back. I shower. I have my best ideas in the shower. And, like, I have to keep my Google Mini right at my shower, and I'm this close to getting a dry erase board to put all the way up at the ceiling. But I have my best ideas there, because I'm just decompressing, I'm meditating, I am just recentering myself to start with my day. Used to get my son ready for school, but now we're in summertime. So now we're trying to figure out what this looks like now, because it's chaos right now. But I will then do my morning download. And that's where I will open up Loom and I will just talk about, for 5 minutes, what I have to do for the day. Oh, I've got to take the kids here. I've got to make sure that I do this. I have to write this. I have to contact this person. I'm just getting it all out of my head. Then I copy the transcript and then I put it into Chat GPT and I ask it to outline and prioritize my day. What can I delegate? What can I send out? And then when I get that back, I'm like, oh, so some of this really wasn't important as I thought it was. So I can take some stress off of myself. And then I plug it into what I call my Focus Power Quadrant. And I put individual tasks in each quadrant. So I've got the NMA, which is a needle moving activity. That's always something that's going to get me closer to my goal. A lot of us struggle because we're like, oh, I've got this goal and I feel like I got to take this big chunk out of it. And then I get stressed because I haven't done everything yet, or it's taken up a whole day. Instead, I just do one thing that's going to move the needle. So that's my needle moving activity. My next one is my EVA, which is my empire building activity. And that is what's going to take my business higher. Like, what is going to make me better? Do I need to learn something? Do I want to learn more about ads? Do I want to learn more about marketing? This is where I'm investing in myself as well. Then I have my FFA, which is my foundation fortifying activity. I need to make sure the house is good in every sense. I'm checking the foundation. So I'm checking my systems, checking my emails, making sure all my processes are working, checking in with clients, keeping everything moving so that as I get these goals and I'm hitting them and I'm moving along, I'm not having to fix things along the way either. And then most importantly is my MMA. And that's my money making activity. Every single day I am doing something to make money, whether that is connecting with a lead, it's holding a meeting, a sales meeting, it's sending out a proposal, it is sending out, my speaker kit to get with someone. No matter what it is, I'm pushing every day to make money. So that's my Focus Power Quadrant. And then I put my tasks in there. And then by the end of the day, I feel so accomplished. I feel like I've done everything that I needed to do. And then when I do my next morning download, I'm like, hey, so by the way, I did this, and this. Where does that put us for the day? And there we are.
So this podcast episode will be somebody's EBA quadrant, I would
Yes,
say.
exactly. Exactly.
Is this was the Focus Power Quadrant something you created or something you
It is. It was. And it's something that I offer in my membership. But like I do 3 templates every month in my membership. So this is like a PDF and also a Notion template as well. But I just felt like I was just getting so stressed. I was tired of working from to-do lists. And it was just so stressful because you're like, oh, I got to do my social media calendar. Sounds easy, but it's like, oh, I have to find my pictures. I have to develop my captions. I have to make sure it's SEO ready. I have to make sure I tag people. And it just gets to be too much. So whereas I can say, you know what? My money making activity today is to announce a sale on Instagram for next week, right? So I'm gathering pictures. I'm writing the copy today, and then I'm leaving it there. I am okay with doing whatever I need to do for that day so that I can do more somewhere else, and then I'll pick it up tomorrow. I am done trying to get everything done in 24 hours or trying to squeeze 24 hours into 6. I'm over it. No.
That Focus Quadrant, really, that is so cool and such a that alone, I think we'll talk a bit more about the membership in a second. First, I want to ask you, how do you continue your education as an industry educator and speaker?
I'm so privileged to do what I do. Like I said, I really feel like I am operating in my zone of genius. I'm operating within my gift. And then I am blessed to be asked to speak at larger conferences where I have access to so much education. I have access to so many tools. I have access to people that I can sit down and ask questions and get feedback from. So I don't take that lightly. I fully take advantage of that. So I actually pay attention to the classes that I'm not speaking at when I go to conferences. Again, being just at IADWP, Cui Motapinto gave a stellar class. If you ever hear him speak, please sit in the front row with 6 notebooks because just record it because your hands are going to get so tired from writing notes. But he did 2 classes, one on safety and risk within events and how we can prepare, and also designing our events. And it was just brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So there's so much to pick up from. I love doing that. I give and take. I know that I don't know everything and I don't always get it right, but I also love to learn from industries across the board. And I figure out, how can I make this work within the wedding industry? How can something, honestly, that Domino's is doing right now, I was reading about them a couple weeks ago, and their stats and what their pricing is looking like with everything. It's like, how can what's working for Domino's work well in our industry? And I look for a lot of inspiration and education there. And I wonder how it can be flipped or integrated. I love a good podcast. I love a good audiobook as well. And then I pick one thing that is associated to something within my quadrant, and I go from there instead of feeling like overwhelmed with everything. And then I have to delay implementing it, because I'm the type of person, like if I listen to a podcast or I'm listening to an audiobook, I am taking notes, I'm highlighting things, or I'm like having to pause, make myself a voice memo and say, we're definitely doing this next. So yeah, if you want to learn anything, just figure out how it's going to be associated with, or how it's going to uplift one goal that you have, and focus there instead of trying to learn all of the things.
Now I'm going to be thinking about, what is the stuffed crust that I offer? Because that's the Domino's big campaign right now.
I know.
So can you tell us about the membership and where our audience can find you?
Yeah, you can come and hang out with me at Introducing Terrica. You can also get into my brain and my business at my website, Terrica Inc. That's INC.com. And if you're really serious about building a wedding business that lasts, then that's where you can find me in Wedding Pro University. Like I said, when I got started, I knew nothing. I had nothing. I was literally piecing everything together. And I decided that I wanted Wedding Pro University to be what I needed when I got started. So it has everything. We have majors. You can major in the finance program and learn how to do your pricing. You can major in the sales program and learn how to do your proposals and your sales consults. We have a design program, marketing, an operations program that helps with your workflow and your client hospitality, which is onboarding and client experience. And then every month I teach live about something. So this past month, this is how the whole Domino's thing came in. We were teaching about the economic uncertainty that's going on right now, and the consumer doubt and the consumer hesitancy, and how we can use this to work for our benefit. So I teach live every month. We also have different companies come in and do demos for us on the second Friday. We call that Business Systems Brunch. So if you're like, I know I need a system, but I don't know what it is, you can come in and watch a class, watch a demo, ask questions. You can watch previous recordings and really build your suite of systems just within the platform in itself. And I'm also there to do live Q&A and feedback. So it's like courses meets coaching meets community type of thing. We're really active in there. We're really super supportive. And it's something that's always so great. Oh, we also give 3 templates every month. So like I said, I just did my Focus Power Quadrant every month. It's something that's going to help grow with you, and not necessarily something that I want you to grow out of. If you do grow out of it, completely fine. But I want your next step to be maybe working with a coach or getting a mastermind that's going to take you to the next level. But this is a wonderful entry-level point to say, this is my goal, or this is where I need help, and to get support in that area immediately, while also fostering relationships with other pros and getting help from a coach at the same time.
You are the person to do it, because you spoke about each of these different elements, from marketing to systems to finances to pricing, as the expert. So there is no compromise in any category, which is really terrific. And I'm so excited for our listeners to hear about it. I will have all of that in the show notes. And Terrica, thank you for being here. This was such a delight and such a good time.
Oh, thank you so much, Nina. I appreciate it. I had a wonderful time chatting with you and learning that you're a Stitch and wrestling fan.
Yes, yes. So guys, if you enjoy this, be sure to send a message to myself at I Do Wedding Marketing, or Terrica at Introducing Terrica, and let us know you enjoyed it. And we will see you on the next Wedding Wednesday on the I Do Wedding Marketing podcast.